Good morning, all. This is V with Art of Wigs with V. And if you've been to my channel before, welcome back. If you haven't, just welcome, period. This is a pretty chilly and snowy day where I live in Michigan, which seem to have a lot of that, even though it is March 18th. So I just want to bring you a quick review today on a really short little pixie wig. I'd like to thank Franny's Hair for sending me this for review, and you can find where to purchase her and frannyshair.com beneath in the description box. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me to understand and know what kind of things you're looking for in a wig or what kind of information that you need on one. If you would do that, I would really greatly appreciate it. I usually forget to ask anyone, but thank you in advance. The wig I have on is called Energia. It's by Bell Tress. It's actually quite an older wig. It's new to me, but it's older in release date. I have been struggling a little bit in my own personal head with all of the push and the breakout of heat-friendly styles and low density, low density, low density. I have a very small face. My circumference is only 20 1/4, and that gets a little bit, tiny bit more with the wig grip on. And my from the hairline to under the occipital bone is only 11 1/2, and I'm 11 1/2 ear to ear. My face is 7.25 inches from here to here. So low density sounds like it would be perfect for me. Because otherwise hair can look like it's wearing me instead of me wearing it if there's too much hair. However, I haven't had really great luck with a lot of short styles that I really love and have tried because I felt like there wasn't enough hair in some of them to cover the wefting. That really bothered me. I am not a high maintenance girl when it comes to my hair. I really do not like having to apply heat. I don't like having to use a curling iron. I don't really like having to use a flat iron. If I want a wavy or curly style, I'm going to get a synthetic one that is already in that style. And then if I want a similar style or even a different one that I want to be straight, I'm going to buy straight, but it's going to be regular synthetic. That's because I've never had long hair. I've always had short hair that I just would spike up, mess up, etc., play around with a little bit of product in it when I did have hair, and I'm not used to constantly playing with my hair, and I'm not interested in doing it with a wig. I realize that it's a very strong possibility that I look much older in a really short wig, but this is how I have worn my hair a lot, very short, and I enjoy immensely a wig that doesn't weigh more than about 2.5 ounces on my head. However, I do wear a lot of wigs that do weigh more and are much longer than this. This is probably the shortest one that I have. So this is Energia by Bell Tress. It is a heat-friendly fiber. I don't worry much about heat-friendly fibers in having to deal with them a lot when they're really short. It would be something that touches my collar, where it might get frizzed easily or tangle, or it's rubbing back here on the base of my neck and so on, that I really don't want to deal with. So Energia is from quite some time ago. So because of this issue that I was dealing with regarding in my own inner self of everything being heat friendly that's getting released, most things being low density, really low density, and some that are getting released, I decided I was going to go back and dive into some of the older styles that I still think today are very relevant and styles that I think are absolutely great and that many of us still would really, really like. They're going to be mostly all synthetic. My dog is sitting behind me on the chair. She's doing a little whining right now. Not sure why, other than she wants my attention. So hopefully, she was just trying to take on to another chair that's spinning on her. So maybe she's doing some acrobatics behind me. Who knows? She's a cute little girl, though. Come here, Adrian. You want everybody to see you. There's Adrian. Adrian's my baby. Can you sit back behind me now? She likes to sit behind me when I do videos. So sometimes when I turn around and show you the back, Adrian's actually on the back of my chair behind me, laying down, and you can't see her. But she does like to do that. So hopefully she's not going to impede my video. So Energia's stats are that the sides are 2.50, which is very short, and the nape is 1.5. Now, I wear a lot of wigs that are 1.5, and even one of my favorites is 1.25. However, it has that one has an extended nape, which brings it down further in the back. So I do shave my neck. So when I turn around, if you see any kind of rash there at all, it's because I shave my neck daily. Okay, and sometimes you get a little rash, and sometimes you don't. It just is what it is. So go back to the measurements. The bang is 2.75. I'm reading what the manufacturer says. And the overall length is 2.75, it states. It weighs 2 ounces. When this came, fibers felt very silky. However, there was a lot of stuff going on here that really still hasn't corrected itself much. Where this is like really short and really straight. There's kind of some wave here, etc. And so I soaked it in cold water because I thought it had a really tremendous amount of box hair from being folded up in the box for probably who knows how long, because this isn't an older released wig. That didn't seem to change it much. I shampooed it. That didn't seem to change it much. So I went and I misted it down, and I went all through it with a curling iron, kind of rolling back, trying to roll what seemed to want to go forward. I guess some of it got tamed down a little bit, but it still kind of sticks up straight in some areas. So, but I think it's great, messy. Also, I did have to trim something. There was a piece over here on this side, right in here, that came way down to here, which made no sense. So I used a little razor thinner that I have and took that off because it was just didn't make any sense that it was there. Interestingly, I think in the last month and a half or so, this is the third wig I've gotten that I've needed to trim something that didn't make sense as something being there. One of them had a piece, the wig ended here, and the piece came way down to here, and another piece over here was hanging here. It didn't make any sense at all. And another one that I'm going to review had a piece that was as long as this side on the other side of the part hanging down here. So, not sure what's going on there, and they're all different manufacturers, so it's just not being cut totally appropriately. So sometimes when you get a wig, you will have to do that. You're also trying to make it your own. So let me get into this and just see what we can do with it. It's very short. I do love very short wigs because it doesn't feel like I have hardly anything on my head, and there's no hair getting in my face. There's no hair sticking to my lip gloss. I can't stand that. It drives me crazy. I do wear some that are a little bit longer, but you're never really going to see me in really long wigs. So my eyes are getting a little bit tired, and those glasses don't exactly do the trick on the computer. So I'm going to grab some glasses here so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Just give me a second. That's a little better. They're heavier looking, but it is what it is. They're readers. And anyway, Energia, has a really nice lace front, as you can see. The fit on me, without moving any adjusters, and they are out as far as it will go, is perfect. So, could you wear this if you were larger than me? Probably. If you were I would say no more than a 21 and a half, might be pressing it. Probably 21 and a half, but no bigger than that. I don't think it would be way too tight on you. I cannot move the adjusters out any further than they are, and it fits me fine the way it came, like that. So I just the only reason this is up like this is because I moved it up there with my hand is all. It when it came is like this. But these were all sticking up straight and real funny. So you got box hair issues, you got a cold water soak. Run a warm, it's heat friendly, so at least with the heat friendly, you can run a curling iron through it, which I did. All right, so I want to see how pliable this is, or manipulative, let's put it that way, without product first. So I'm going to be moving some hair around. I just want to give you a little bit of what you might be able to do with it. I mean, I know some people think, well, I'll wear longer wigs in the wintertime and I'll go to Pixies in the summertime, and so they might be looking for a Pixie now. I'm a Pixie chick pretty much year-round. This winter I have gone into a couple of styles that maybe come about down to here that I wouldn't determine are a Pixie. I tried out kind of a quasi bob that I liked a lot. It wasn't a traditional bob. It had some kick-up ends, and I liked that for something different. So I'm going to get in here, and I'm usually going to mess everything up. So I want to get the hair off the cap. It had been laying in the box. So the shampoo and the soap helped with that. It's very silky feeling hair. It's a nice density. I do notice that the hair over on this side seems to be shorter in here than it is over here. And this actually was quite heavy over here. And this piece was long, and there was another piece here, which didn't make any sense. So I trimmed it off. So this has no product, so I can move it up off my face like this. Now I do have this piece that wants to stick up. But what you need to know, and it's a little hard to find, this does have a monofilament part. And I'm going to move in closer to see if I can locate it for you. It's a little hard to find because of the amount of hair. There you go. See it? So if you really wanted that to show up, you'd have to kind of separate it and smooth things down, which I personally could care less if anyone sees a monofilament part on my wigs. When I had my own hair, it was so thick that if you parted it somewhere, you couldn't see my scalp anyway. So I'm not used to it. The color that I have on is Chrome. It's a gorgeous color by Bell Tress, and it does have a very dark root. I believe it's described as a medium brown root, but it actually, I think, reads quite black. We'll look at the knotting on this. It seems to be very nice. It's not all done in what I call a perfect straight line. I even like to mess that up a little bit more with my fingers because our hair does not grow in straight lines, and I think it looks more realistic when it doesn't have a straight line. I'm going to pop it off for you and show you the inside. You can see it has about a temple. It's not quite a temple. I think temple on me would be more down to here. But it has an extended lace front, and that goes into, it seems to be a fairly wide monofilament section. It's just that there's a lot of hair sewn together, not like as in it has a lot of hair. Just the wefts are quite closely sewn together in that. And there's a little bit of permatease that lives in here, not very much, but this to support the style. And the monofilament part does come back into the crown. I think it's very close to the crown area. It's quite wide. But the hair is so thin, so short, and etc., that I think it's really hard to find that part to take advantage of it. It has the velvet covered ear tabs, which have stays in them. It does have an extended nape that is velvet, which is nice. The thing I don't like about it, and I noticed this with any other Bell Tress wigs I have tried, there are no stays in the nape. And when you have a short wig like this, you need stays in the nape because it holds it to your neck so that when you bend your head down, it doesn't pop up. This may not do that anyway, but for security purposes, I prefer to have them. So I don't like that. And you can see that the wig I haven't moved the adjusters. It's out as far as they will go. So that's why I'm saying I'm between 20 and a quarter and 20 and a half circumference, and this is fitting me perfectly. So I'd be leery if I were over 21 in this. And it has the bra strap adjusters. So we have all this is open wefting, which is actually my preferred kind of cap. I actually like a monofilament top with a lace front and open wefting in the back. I feel they're cooler in the summertime, and for me they're more comfortable. So I'm going to pull some of these fibers from the back up a little bit also, because I don't want to have a flattened look at the crown because the hair is so short there. Usually about 3 inches back there gives you a nice profile. This doesn't have that. It's like 2.75. So we'll put it back on. And I'm going to get her in place for you by getting my ear tabs in the right place. They have nice stays in them, pinched to the head. My nape is seated under the grip. I'm going to turn and show you before I adjust the front so you can see where it is. Hopefully you don't see a dog. Oh, she left me. And the edge of your wig should be sitting on the edge of the grip, which is in the dent underneath the occipital bone. It's not way down here where the hairline ends. Then any extended nape, which you can see I just pulled it up there, the underneath part is sitting on the grip. There's the grip. And the extended nape drops below the grip. So this is what the back of it looks like, without anything being styled up here, of course. And I need to pull this up so you can get a look at the side. It's still a little bit longer, I think, right here, but we'll look at that other side and I'll show you something. Then we get over here. There is kind of a longish piece right there. I still think this is longer. And I think for me, I might still trim that off. And so then I'm going to come up here, put the lace so that it is right on my skin. I'm going to press on it, smooth it down. But I'm going to go in with this with, I think, some John Reynolds Peace Out Cream and see what I can do with it. Because some of this stick up here, I'm all for spiky hair and everything, but it just doesn't look like it's, I don't know. There's something, this is a lot longer, this piece is right here, than the rest of it. So I don't know if that's because it's so hard to find the part in this. Maybe it's got to do with the part. If you wanted to have it over like this and show your part, it's still hard to find that. I'm going to get a rat tooth comb and see if I can locate it. Pretty much there's where it is, I guess. It's just kind of thick, so it's hard to tell. But I wouldn't consider this to be high density. Let's put it that way. It's got to have this thickness or the wefts are going to show. So I'm putting some John Reynolds Peace Out Cream on my fingertips, rubbing it in, just a dime size, until it disappears and it's warm. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to make little circles on my lace front. And some people think I'm a little crazy for doing that, but I'm not. The reason I'm doing that is to mess up the lace front hair a little bit so it looks more natural instead of being a straight line. Okay. Now there's still some John Reynolds Peace Out Cream in my hand. It's still slightly sticky. So I'm going to do some here also at the sides. Bring some of these sides down with some of that Peace Out Cream. I'm going to add a little bit more just because I want to bring that crown up. You see the profile? It has a flatter look right there. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. So I'm going to run the John Reynolds Peace Out Cream into the root there. Just kind of mess it up, giving me a little bit more lift there, but not where I'm pulling it way up where all the wefts are showing. This hair is not going to blow around in the wind that you have to worry about that. So now I'm going to create my up and over front, which I do like. And I'll use the John Reynolds Peace Out Cream to put some of these fibers in place. By the way, I just am picking up like a tiny bit like the amount on the tip of my finger to add more. So if I add too much, it'll get that greasy look, and I'll have to wash it more often. But I wouldn't add it every time I wore it, because you don't need to do that. After you've put it in once, you only need to possibly add it again once you have washed it again and let it dry. All you have to do in between times is mist your hands with some water and go in and do this, and it will revitalize the product that is in it. So you don't have to put John Renault Peace Out Cream. You don't have to put wig wax, any of those products in your hair every time you use it. If you do, you're going to destroy your wig by overwashing it, because it's going to get all gooed up. When your hands misted in water will simply reactivate it. All right, so I'm going to go in here, just do a little bit of placing with my fingers of where I want this hair. That piece wants to stick up. Could be something I did with the curling iron. And maybe not. But because it's heat friendly, I'll be able to fix that. I would be able to fix it probably with a hot air tool if it were a total synthetic and was not heat friendly. So I do like an opening into my face, even when I have a little short wig like this. However, if I wanted to go more like a really super short bang, I have only a 2.5 inch forehead. So the bang on this, which is supposed to be 2.75, is a little longer than my forehead. On you, that might, if you have a longer forehead, a taller forehead than 2.5 inches, this wig was going to look a lot shorter on you. I can piece out some of these ends here and just kind of bring it into little pieces in the front if I wanted to, like this, which to me says Pixie. This kind of thing says Pixie. I don't see Pixie wigs as something that comes below your ears, and they have a tendency today to want to call every short wig that is above the chin a Pixie style, or a Bixie, meaning it's a cross between a bob and a pixie. I don't necessarily agree with it that way. So how I would probably wear this, there's a piece right here that wants to go into my ear, but we're going to put it out here. I'm going to curl some of this toward my face. This side over here, I'm probably going to end up snipping that off because I think it's too long. And this could end up going too if I can't get it to lay down. And I'm hoping that possibly the heat of my hand, pinching it, getting in here, grabbing it, pinching and bending, pinching and bending, pinching and bending, pinching and bending. Do you see how that's kind of turning it under? Grabbing it, pinching really hard to create heat, and bending it. Putting a little bit in the root here. I think she's super cute. I really love it. Other than I gotta trim a little bit here, but that's not unusual. Like I said, lately for some reason I seem to be having to trim some odd pieces on wigs. Glasses friendly, pretty much it's got to be over the ear tabs, unless, let's try my regular glasses, because on the computer I can't see in them. I have to wear readers. So now this fits wonderfully underneath the ear tabs because it has smaller bows. I have wire bows and I have acetate fronts. So this fits beautifully under that. The other wider bows like this have a hard time going underneath. So they kind of have to sit on the top. So what else could I do? I could turn her on the right side, I suppose. Oh, I got some hair showing there. So I could do a right. This hair wants to stick up over here though. So I guess I would have a little spikiness going on. Once again, hold and pinch. Hold and pinch. Hold and pinch. Get it laying down where I want it. I actually like it on the other side better, for me. And I do like a right side part. So now I could have a little curl coming forward if I want it, or I can just kind of I could bring some other little pieces down. Once again, now I gotta pinch and twist this piece back into the spot that I want. But I think it's a great wig. I love that it only weighs 2 ounces, excuse me. It only weighs 2 ounces. It feels like a feather on my head. The fibers are really nice. It's the right amount of density. It's not too light a density that the wefts are not covered. You can get some more volume out of her if you want to. Okay, could I bring her all the way off my front? Let's see, just for the heck of it, quickly. Wants to move off my head a little bit, which probably means that I have it a little loose, maybe. I probably need to tighten the adjusters a little. I need to get this piece trained to go back if I'm going to do that. So as you can see, if I were to get this trained, it could do a complete over and back. It's just that one piece I'm having issues with. So let's just put her down where she wants to go. Just put the whole front up. So there you have it, ladies, for my Pixie Chix and short-haired sisters. This is one in what I hope will be a few more short wigs for you gals and for the small head tribe. So remember to like and subscribe and follow me, because I'm going to be doing at least one wig review a month, and they're going to be on predominantly these short styles. So once again, this is Energia by Bell Tress, an older pixie style that is very short, and it's in the color Chrome, which does have a very dark root. I do love this color. It's very creamy, kind of a white gray color. Very little gray showing, but it's in the mix. So you can find her at franny'shair.com, and I thank you for coming today, and you have a blessed day. I would like to correct something that I said. I believe you would be hard-pressed to wear this comfortably if you were over 21 and a half, not 21 as I had said. And these photos were taken in natural light in front of my sliding glass door.